What's up? What's up, good people? Another day. Welcome to Chepar Farm. If you're new here, please feel free to subscribe to our channel. If you've been with us, thank you very much. Please like our videos and share them. Now, our first video since the last time we posted, which is almost 6 months. So we've been really busy, and I've missed you guys. I've missed you guys a lot. We've had a lot of changes in the farm. We've had a lot of challenges, yeah, and a lot of things that we celebrate. And I just wanted to have a short video where I am capturing things that happened in 2022 and our plan for 2023, isn't it? We are almost closing the year. So 2022, as you can see, I'm on the beans farm. We are harvesting beans here. Yeah, so we are doing some harvesting here. We have beans on this farm. So this is one of the projects that we did, and we didn't highlight it to you guys. We didn't shoot the video for this as we are progressing with this, because mostly they were experimental, and we were quite busy on the farm doing a lot of things, so we didn't have time per se to shoot the video. Now 2022, what are the hits for 2022? Well, we started some ambitious projects. We had ambitious projects in 2022, and some of them were successful and not, but I call it a hit because mostly we started and we did and we learned. The most important thing is learning your mistakes from your mistakes, and learning learning what makes you fall and then rising up. And so one of the misses that we did is we invested a lot in horticultural farming, which is basically farming like mbogas, vegetables. We invested in managus, spinach, cabbage, and all that. So the biggest hit that we had in 2022 was basically from the managu project that we did, and that is mainly it in terms of vegetables, because we did cabbage, we did a little bit onions. Onions were basically experimental on the new farm that we acquired, and we wanted to experiment how it will perform in that farm. So basically we didn't do a lot for the onions. I wanted just to see if I don't invest anything on this farm and I plant onions, I actually didn't even do weeding. I only did fertilizer, and that's it. So, and that fertilizer I did it once when we were beginning, and it did really well. It actually had big bulbs like the medium sized one, and which gave me an idea that this is a farm that we need to probably try doing onions in that farm, because we actually got even the worst breeds that we can get there. We got those traditional breeds of onions that are planted in cold climates, not the F1s, but then the old ones, and they did really well in that soil, which probably gives me an idea that this soil would work well on onions, which is what we would plan for 2023. Another miss that we did was a big miss that we did in 2023 is tomatoes. Yeah, that project really messed us up. It messed us up a lot. So we also learned a lot from that project. Mainly market is really timing, basically timing. Markets are there essentially. The problem is the timing. We timed it. We had our harvests the beginning of June, no, the end of June to July and August, and then the end of August to the beginning of September, because we had around 2 acres on tomatoes. Actually, not 2 acres, 3 acres on tomatoes, and we really invested a lot in that. For a first time project, I would recommend, probably for a first time project, try with probably half an acre or something like that, or a quarter an acre. Just experiment and see if you have a big chunk of land. You can try small and then go big once you've understood the market. So this year we are going to cut down 2023, sorry, we are going to cut down to probably 2 acres or 1 acre, but I'm looking at probably 2 acres because we've understood a lot of things that are going on the farm. So we'll try probably 2 acres, but something is telling me try 1 acre, so probably I'll push back to 1 acre and diversify the farm to do other crops that I can be able to plant. And that was one of the biggest misses that we had, and that is what made us to recalibrate on how we are going to approach projects that we are doing on the farm. So because we really invested, for those guys who have planted tomatoes, you know how much it costs to invest in an acre of land planting tomatoes just from seedlings. And we got it wrong from the word go, because we got the wrong seedlings. We didn't plant the F1s, the hybrids, which I know people these are different conversations, because different people have different opinions on what, but from my understanding is hybrids are really good because this is what now the market wants. And I understood this by engaging in a lot of all these brokers, tomatoes, wholesalers, people who are selling tomatoes, the mama burgers and all that. And people actually, even they prefer hybrids because they have a longer shelf life, and they're not affected a lot by diseases and all that. So that is one thing that we got wrong, and I think we had yeah, we learned from our own mistakes. Anyways, what is the other big miss? Yes, the other big miss was cabbages. We planted cabbages, probably half an acre. Was it half an acre? Around half an acre, yeah. The cabbages did well. The problem was market, because from June, yeah, from June to end of September, actually the beginning of October, the market was flooded with cabbages, and I sold one cabbage at 5 shillings farm gate price. Yeah, I had around was it, I think almost 4,000 or something like that heads. I didn't actually count, but it was around 4,000 heads. I didn't measure the land, so I don't know the exact size of the land, but what I do in farming is mainly not determine what I spend on basically on the size of land, is basically what I spend on that specific project. And basically narrowing down is I have this number of seeds, I spend this much on seeds, I spend this much on transportation of the seeds, I spend this much on fertilizers, I spend probably this much on doing the work, and then this is what I got from once I've harvested the farm. So but mainly when I measure that land, is probably, if it's an acre, it's a few points less than an acre of land. And yeah, we hit a big miss for that, because we had really good cabbages. I wish I had the videos, and a lot of people actually prefer to buy our cabbages on the farm, because we planted Gloria F1, and which is what mama mbogas prefer in my area, actually, to, because they know what they told me is all these other newer versions of cabbages, they have challenges where they wrinkle a lot once they have been harvested and all that. I don't know, but that is what most of them actually said, and that's why they preferred buying our cabbages. That was a big miss also, because they spend a lot of money. And imagine selling 7 shillings, 5 shillings per head. Of course, there are some heads that we sold at around 10 and 15 shillings. Yeah, but we basically looking at how much we spend on the farm and how much we got in return. Actually, it's like we broke even, or we had profit, a slight profit for the crops, and mainly because we had very big cabbages. That farm was really fertile. We didn't spend any money on irrigation and all that, so the only thing we spent on was fertilizer and labor, mainly labor, and of course these herbicides and all that. But we didn't spend a lot again on that. As you know, cabbages don't, if you have water, it's not too much water, it's moderate and all that, everything would be fine. So what other big news? Yes, we tried beans during the rainy season in North Rift region, which is normally between May to October, no, May to September. And yes, we didn't harvest, we didn't actually, because we had so many projects in the farm, we didn't spend so much, we didn't invest much on the beans, and it didn't happen actually doing well. So we had an acre, and we probably got around 2 bags or something like that of beans, because we didn't actually concentrate on that, and the timing was really not that good again. So we learned that, and we documented that, and those are some of the things we will probably not do in 2023. And so those are some of the lessons learned that we have. Now here we have a successful, now looking at successful things that we did for 2022. Mainly, one, yes, we invested a lot. The hits that we had in 2022, we invested in big projects, and like we acquired land, we finalized on that. We got land in a good place where we have permanent rivers and all that, and we did a lot of fencing and all that on the farm. So that was a big that's a good thing that we did, and that is a hit for me, because that was a very big investment that we did. Although we didn't get the fruits of that labor, but basically I feel happy, we feel happy as a family that we are able to do such kind of an investment. We also did a lot of investments, of course, with assistance from families in acquiring, in leasing pieces of land, which we have invested in, although we didn't get a lot of output from the farms, but yeah, it was a good thing. So we had a longer lease for some parcels of land, so mainly we will be doing a lot of projects in 2023. The other thing is yes, another hit that I consider hit is we were able to successfully utilize land that we leased. This is one of the lands that I've actually leased. This one that has beans here, and this is the one that we had what do we call, we had vegetables planted, we had managus, we had mostly this, yeah, actually this land was full of managus. That was the only thing we planted on this farm. No, not only thing, no, we planted managus, we planted beans on this parcel here, on this portion here we planted beans, and then on this lower portion here we planted maize. We had planned to have maize here for mainly a silage, but things didn't go as planned, and we harvested maize. This portion gave us around 5 bags of 90 kgs of maize, which is, and this land is probably around a quarter an acre or less than that. So we didn't invest much on it again, and we actually got that. And you know, 90 kgs going at 5,000 shillings, that was around 20,000. It basically, this portion here was able to pay for the lease of land for this whole land for 2022. So this small portion here, so we were able to do, you know, of course, if you look at it as only profit, which is not, the numbers are not accurate, we find probably the profit is 10,000 shillings, or around 7,000 shillings. So it was able to pay for an acre of land lease in this farm here. So which is a good thing, which is a good investment, which I believe, and the managus gave us money. So that was another hit that we did. We planted this farm, we planted beans here, we planted managu in probably 2 acres, and then 1 acre we planted almost half an acre we planted beans, and then a quarter an acre there we planted maize. Of course it's around 3 acres, but it's not accurately 3 acres because there are portions like bushes like this that occupy the land. We have these terraces here which again reduce the size of land that you have leased, and we're trying to see if we can be able to reduce the size of the terraces that we have here so that we have a huge chunk of land which is productive. Okay. The other hit that we had, yes, the other hit on this farm that we did, or on the project that we did, was we were able to fully do intercropping, and we didn't. This farm did not rest. I can assure you that. The only time it rested was from January to around March. After that, we have utilized the land fully. We planted managus, we removed managus, we planted beans, and the beans that we planted, I went for high valued beans, which are the yellow and the green beans, which we planted here. So what you are seeing here behind me, all right, so the sun is a little bit bright here. So what you see, these small these ones here, okay, so what you see here, these are essentially yellow beans, okay, and it's really expensive because mostly you can't get it. I don't know, people say it doesn't have, you will not get what do you call the acid, it's not in acid. People say that it doesn't have acid, so yeah, but it's really expensive because 2 kgs for these beans, 2 kgs goes for around 400 shillings, which is what I bought at. So I will wait until I will be going to these wamamas in wamama mbogas in the market and actually confirming with them the price. When the price is good, then I'll be able to sell it or utilize it, because again we have a lot of activities in 2023, so I can be able to use this to feed people on the on who are doing a lot of work in the farm, and also for us for our home consumption, so that we don't buy beans, because again you'll find that we have kids and all that, so we need something for to spend at home, to utilize at home, sorry. So that was one of the biggest one of the hits, that not the biggest, that was one of the hits that we had. The other hits that we had in 2022 was on the farm. There's a farm that we planted maize around 10 acres, not 10 acres, around 7 acres, sorry. So 7 acres of land, we planted maize, and we didn't spend we spent a lot, but we didn't spend actually like double on fertilizer, because we were lucky to get the Mavuno fertilizer, which are sold in cereal boards. They were going at for 4,800, while most of these other fertilizers were going at 6,000. So we were able to cut costs on that, and that was the only thing that we bought on that farm apparently. So for that farm, so what we did is we planted maize, and I think I have a video for you when we are doing pre-weeding for the farm. So we planted with fertilizer, and that was it. We did pre-weeding once. It's supposed to be done twice, but we did it once. So when we were harvesting, we had a lot of weeds on the farm, but the farm actually produced a lot of maize for us, and with the prices, I think we made a lot of profit for that farm, because looking at our expenses on what we spent on the farm, operation costs and all these other costs, and looking at what we got from the farm, we probably got more than 50% in profit for the farm, because we really didn't spend a lot on the farm. We mostly spent most of the things that took was fertilizer. We didn't do top dressing, we didn't do anything, but the farm was really good to us. And I think it's mostly because of the weather, because we didn't have a lot of rain this year. We didn't have too much rain, which is really conducive for maize. When you have moderate rain, that is when maize does very well. So we were able to do that. We didn't have a lot of rotten maize on the farm. Actually, we had around, for 7 acres, we only had around 2 bags, 290 kgs bag, which is around 180 kgs. And we also sold that. We sold that for half price of of what is sold for 90 kg. So we sold it at around actually 3,000 per bag, which went again to because I don't have use for it. So the guy said they have use for it, and I sold it to them. So that is one of the big hits that we did, and we really got good money from that farm, because we were lucky to get around probably around 80 something bags of 80 kgs, no, 80 something bags of 90 kgs. And with the prices that we sold at it at, yeah, we did really well. And of course it took us, you have to wait for the money for a very long time, especially with maize farming. That is one of the trickiest part, because I know if you had invested in something else like beans and all that, you'll have probably double that. Of course you'll have the double the cost of investing in doing that beans farming as well. So those are the highlights for 2022 that we had. What else? Yes, one of the biggest highlights that I almost forgot is in 2022 we had, as you saw me in most of my videos, we had videos of us doing mostly poultry. That one we didn't proceed with that in 2022, mid 2022, because we had a lot of things we had a lot of investment that we are doing in 2022. So we had to get rid of some stuff, mainly, and that was mainly poultry, because the profit, especially for layers, is really, it's low. You can't get the profit immediately. It's over a long span of time, and you are spending. So you'll find that we will spend probably around we'll spend probably around 80,000 on feeds, and then we'll get probably 120,000. So we get a profit of around close to 40,000 per month. And we had a lot of investment that needed, as the tomato farming and all these other investments that I've mentioned. They needed a lot of money for us to run. So we had to sell our chickens, our hens, for us to get the funds to operate that. And also the remaining feeds, we're able to sell it to people, and we're able to get most of our money back. Of course not 100%, but most of the money back, and we did this on the other investment. So which brings me to 2023. What's the plan for 2023? 2023, the plan is mainly, it's very simple. Learn, implement most of the planned projects, and we are going to run the projects right now, like real projects that are being like documentation and all that. So we're going to really run projects seriously this time. Let me use that word, seriously, this time. Have everything documented, have lesson learned, review things from previous years, and see how 2023 will take us. I hope that 2023 will be a good year for us. That's our prayer. So in terms of farming, and because and I think that is it mainly for 2023. What we will cover is mainly, I don't want to say the specific projects probably, but one of the things that we are looking at is actually doing still the projects that we did this year, but in a more planned and forecasted manner. Okay, when I say forecasted, is basically looking at a lot of things in terms of technology and seeing what we can be able to try out. It's not 100% accurate, but we are going to try out farming in a different way, and we are going to do a lot. And actually that is one thing that we should have done, and we want to do, is we will do a lot of diversification on the farm. So basically I will not have something more than 2 acres on the farm of a specific crop. So that is what we are looking at. And I want, so that we can be able to do, if we can be able to get harvest all these crops in different times and get our money, so that we can be able to reinvest during the other period of the year. So that is what we are looking at in 2023. So that is a quick highlight. It's a long highlight, I know. It's probably around 20 minutes of highlight. So before I take more of your time, I would like to thank you guys, those guys who supported us through 2022, We really appreciate you. I still have messages and chats from people, comments and all that from people reaching out to me on the videos that I shot previously, and I've been able to assist them. But even after being even after being so much busy, I've been able to do that, and we appreciate you guys for that. So we really thank you, and we wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. We wish you a successful 2023. For those who are doing farming, we wish you success in that. For whatever activities that you do, we wish you success and a very blessed 2023. So if you are new again to the channel, please feel free to subscribe to our channel. This will be able to support us and will be able to help us reach out to more people. If you are new to our channel, if you've already subscribed to our channel, we thank you very much. Please feel free to share our videos, to share experiences with the other people, so that we can be able to motivate them to actually do probably the same thing that we are doing. So until next time, guys, cheers, bye.